Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Money, Real Business podcast. I'm Lauren, and today we have Johnny and Masato on the show who are selling a display advertising business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Hey Johnny and Masato, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you? Thank you for having us.
Hi, good. How are you? Thank you for the opportunity.
Wonderful. Yeah, really happy to have you both on the show. Really looking forward to diving into this business. It certainly sounds like a very interesting one. Certainly a lot of aspects going on here. So before we dive in, I'm going to give the listeners a brief summary of the business so they have a good idea of what we're talking about. This is a two-site display advertising business. It was created in July 2017, and it's in the health and fitness niche. The average revenue for the business is $16,082 per month, and it makes an average of $14,983 per month in net profit. The assets included with the business are domains, including all site content and files, 301 redirects, Flipboard, Facebook, and Pinterest social media accounts, 2 email lists with 2,479 subscribers and 1,481 subscribers respectively, and freelance writer contracts. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 64331 to learn more about this business. Or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So, Johnny and Masato, now that we know more about the business, I'm really keen to hear more from you. Can you fill us in on your background in starting and running online businesses?
Yes, absolutely. When I first started, I was just learning to code and learning how to build websites. That's kind of how I got started. And then on the side that we have listed with you guys right now, I was one of the first projects I started with in terms of learning to code and kind of building things. The blog, yeah. And from there and over the years, I've worked on it, make it better. Well, I've always been interested in helping the fitness niche. Prior to building a website, I was a personal trainer. So when I was looking to start a blog, and it was a good transition to talk about things that I'm familiar with, which is like health and wellness. Yeah, that's kind of how I got started with the online business. Wanted to create like sort of passive income and work from home, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Websites are perfect for that. I'm sure it must help. As you say, you've got a history and a passion for this niche as well. So there's 2 websites included in this sale. How do the 2 websites work together?
Well, the first one was, when I started that one, it was a little bit broader. And then I realized some of the content that was taking off, some of the more niche content in the health wellness space was taking off. So I decided to create the second website and more niche website during that time. I noticed readers were a lot more engaged with some of the content we're posting. So I wanted to have a website kind of around those content specifically. Over the years, that niche is kind of has gone not as popular, not as trendy. So we kind of move it over. Early this year, we move it over to more broader niche, the second website. And then everything that we learned from the first website, we kind of integrated to the second one.
And then it's been proven more successful, only because we had the first one to really learn what works and then what type of content works and then what people are looking for. So we have a better idea of that when we really broaden the niche on the second one. And yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sure that must have been a great help. And have you seen an uptick in performance and traffic since you did broaden that niche?
Oh, definitely, by multiples.
Fantastic. Yeah, it sounds like your strategy really paid off there. So these websites are monetized through display advertising. Are you affiliated with multiple display advertising partners and networks?
No, we work exclusively with media buying for both websites.
Yeah, just exclusively with media buying and no other companies.
Okay, perfect. Is it only display advertising that you've used to monetize the website? Are you doing any affiliate deals there as well?
No, the site's just 100% run on display ads. With that said, the site can do affiliations, all the other additional revenue sources, but we just haven't really tapped into that.
Yeah, certainly. It sounds like you have a passion for these topics that you're writing on, and the business has experienced a lot of recent growth. So, what are the reasons you've decided to sell the business now?
We actually just moved from Hawaii to Florida, and I thought I'd play tennis. We kind of wanted to focus on helping develop and grow and kind of, travel around. So, I mean, we can still run it anyway, which we've been doing, but because of the schedule of the traveling and just being around with her and tennis, it kind of
It's
it
very
makes
time
it,
consuming,
yeah,
the
it's time
commitment.
consuming
Yeah.
and it's making it a little difficult to focus and, to
Hmm.
grow the site the way it should be growing in terms of content planning, all that stuff. So, we thought that it would be best that
Hmm.
we get it over to somebody who's have more time in their hand and will have more resources in terms of like, those things that can go to the to this potential.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. That's a wonderful thing about owning a business. You do have the freedom to be able to sell it and earn that time back with your family. Looking back over your journey with this business, I'm sure there's been lots of ups and downs. Are there any big successes or wins that really stand out for you that you had while owning the business?
Yes, there's a few. The big success is seeing people engaging with the content and sharing it. We do have a good social media presence. People tend to share content a lot and drive a lot of traffic. So we love seeing that. It's been a big success for us when that content get shares and growing traffic. And seeing the growth, especially with the new site, the second site, seeing the growth over the past few months has been amazing. It's been a huge success for us.
The niche that you operate in definitely has quite a vibrant and engaged community, which must be nice to see your content really helping all of them out.
Right.
I'm sure not everything was smooth sailing. Were there any major setbacks or challenges that you had to overcome?
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing is dealing with updates like Google updates. We've gone through a few last few years, and also with social media like Pinterest site and making changes. So those are the kind of setbacks that affects the traffic too as well. We have to deal with, yeah. So having multiple social media channels and way of traffic is always good, and it's been very helpful for us over the years. So to pivot to focus on other channels when one is making it difficult to get traffic.
Yeah, diversity is definitely key when it comes to fighting off the algorithms. And as you say, you can rely on a different channel if one of them is giving you trouble. Speaking of traffic, where does the majority of your traffic come from?
We have a nice account with Flipboard, so a lot of traffic comes from Flipboard at this moment, and sometime Google Discovery.
Okay, perfect. And do you invest much time into on page SEO or backlink campaigns?
We don't do backlinks. We don't do that at this moment. Yeah, we do focus on page SEO, making sure the content is well written, is easy readability. Anyone can read the content using the right keywords. We use Ahref to come up with keyword for research, that sort of things. And also, we make sure the content is well written and is Google friendly.
And also, certain topics we make sure to have writers who are licensed and well credited in their industry and experience. So those things help with the Google credibility. And I think we got nice traffic spikes from Google discoveries. So I think all those things together help with the Google traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. Having that expert written content, especially in your niche, definitely helps. Are you handling all the SEO things yourself, or do you have an agency that does that for you?
We do it ourselves. I mean, it's pretty basic. We focus on quality content
Mhm.
for SEO, most importantly, so nothing more than that.
Yeah, start with the keyword research with the Ahref, and the rest is just really focus on quality content.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the way to go, especially with the most recent Google algorithm update as well. Quality content certainly seems to be a focus there. What do you see as the major opportunities for growth with this business?
I think there's a huge opportunity in affiliate. We never really explored that area solely because we wanted to focus more. We always like advertise the display ads. It's easy for us. But there's a huge growth in that. I think affiliate marketing there. And also I think selling product to customers and going the email list and as well as organic, maybe SEO, more focus on SEO to drive more organic traffic. So those are areas I think there's huge opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a lot of potential there that the new buyer can tap into. We touched on your content creation process briefly, but can you walk me through how you go about creating content from the initial stage all the way up to publication?
Absolutely, sure. Typically, we tend to research and see what's trending and the content is trending in our space and our niche. From that point, once we find at least a content, we kind of go to Ahrefs and kind of search and to see if they have any organic value or if they have a good CPC value. From there, if they have enough traffic, I mean, how much share they get in social media. From there, we start crafting an outline for the writers to write an article and then that sort of thing. For create content for us, pretty simple. The writers, the freelance writers we work with, they've been writing for us for a while, so they know the type of content that we like. Once we figure out the topics that we want to cover, they understand the writing style that we like. we'll put together a list of keywords that we want to insert into the article and phrases and that sort of thing. And once that, and then we give that to them. Once the content is ready, we go through it, and then we upload the article to the designated site. And we kind of started with images, makes it much more sharing friendly.
Yeah, certainly. It sounds like you've certainly streamlined that whole process. How often are you adding content to the site?
Pretty much, we add at least one content per day to each site. The second side is a lot of storyboards. So with Flipboard, you're allowed to purposely promote the content using the storyboard. So, for example, you can write about, if you have 10 content on a similar topic, you can promote those content as a list so you can get in traffic in the same content. So it's kind of nice. So one side we post content every day. The other side, maybe 3 days a week, we add new content. The rest is using the old content on the side to drive traffic using the storyboards.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Those storyboards are definitely a big help. And it sounds like you're churning out a good amount of traffic to keep up that momentum with the sites. With all of that in mind, running through your content creation process there, what does a typical work week look like for you when running this business? How many hours are you spending on the business, and what sort of activities are taking up the majority of your time?
I think it takes about 20 hours a week. Usually it takes about an hour to once the content is uploaded. There's not much work you can do. Just gotta share it, and then coming up with the content takes a couple hours. So usually about 20 hours a week, I say, or less.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously there will be maybe every couple of weeks or so, we spend some time kind of making a list of what type of content we want to publish next, and then that we want our writers to tackle. So that's maybe bi-weekly. You can do it as often as you want it, like weekly or bi-monthly, but we find bi-weekly is kind of right schedule for us.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, it sounds like the business is running like a well-oiled machine at this point. How many different writers are you working with on the content?
Right now, about 2 to 3. Right
2 to 3.
Well, mostly,
Yeah.
usually around 5 writers, freelancers for both
Yeah.
sides.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, but it depends on say if you want to tackle the months, and then
Right.
maybe you would we'll ask our yogi writer to help us with that. But if we're not doing that, then that type of content that month. So about 3 that we go back every month, and we have a few more that we can hire and ask for help if we need it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think it's great that you have those specialized experts that you can go to depending on whatever topics you're writing. It certainly sounds like you've got everything under control. You've got experts that you can reference for your content. So, with all of that in mind, what do you think the biggest challenge will be for a buyer taking over this business?
The biggest challenge, I think, is just keep up with the content on a weekly basis and making sure that the research and posting the right content on the site. That'll be the biggest challenge. There's the outlet to release the content, to drive traffic. It's a matter of the challenge will be coming up with the right type of content that keep the users coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to just produce content for content's sake. It has to have value. So finding enough value in all your keywords, I'm sure, would be a challenge. I'm sure there's a lot of young entrepreneurs out there who are hoping to start sites of their own and take advantage of the audience that's currently online. Is there any advice that you would give to our listeners that you wish you knew when you first started this business?
Yes, absolutely. Just use the data that's available to you so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you're doing content-based site, obviously Ahrefs and SEMrush should be a big help. Helping you discover keywords and also phrases and things like that you can capitalize on. And that can help you both with Google and also what people are interested in. I think it's good to be creative at the same time. It's also good to be
Really find the proven and tested path, right?
Yeah.
I would also at the building channel, Johnny earlier mentioned that for these 2 sites, we have an outlet, and then that makes a huge difference. And it can actually make or break your business whether you have an outlet or not. And for someone starting out, probably the biggest challenge is building the outlet. It takes time and it takes efforts to build that. But once you have those channels or places where you have audience for yourself, and it's just a matter of you really meeting their interests and what they like to read. But the outlet is probably the challenging aspect of the business.
Yeah, that'll be the vehicle driving the traffic source. You need to
Yeah.
find a traffic source.
The
So,
rest
yeah.
is far easier compared to the initial part of building the audience and channel, and then the outlet for yourself.
You're finding this traffic source. If it's Pinterest and it's more discovery, if it's Flipboard is more news get type of content, it's Google Discovery is a combination of the two, discovery and understanding each network and how to work and what content that you want to that you're passionate about creating.
Yeah, I think all of that is really fantastic advice. As you say, you're not going to drive audience to your brand new website overnight. And relying on those tried and tested methods is definitely the way to go. Reinventing the wheel, there's no need for that, as you say. That leads us to the final question of the interview, and the one that I think listeners will listen into most intently. If you had to put yourself into the shoes of a buyer, why do you think your business is a business worth buying?
It's easier to grow with the channels that we have, the outlet that to release content. Easier to grow. With Google is great. You release content, sometimes it takes a while to get ranking, but when you have good social outlet where you can share content, instant gratification, instant traffic is a huge thing. So I think if I was a buyer, I would look at something like that where I can instantly see my investment back, right? Because if you really see the type of content, you drive more traffic, you make more money.
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
The system is already there. You just need to run it and operate. It's really just a matter of releasing content. And like you said, when we say instant traffic, we really mean instant traffic. So that's a huge appeal, I would say.
That was actually something I wanted to touch on. You've got 2 quite substantial email lists. Do you do any marketing to those lists?
I actually don't. I collect them because people subscribe, but I don't. I think that's a huge area. And the new buyer can actually take advantage of it and go even further. We don't do any marketing. People just voluntarily subscribe to the thing. So I think it's a huge way they can actually keep going and have direct communication. Another source of traffic they can create. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They can use that to drive traffic and also sell products.
Yeah, right now, like for us, the time commitment and for in our personal life, it's a bit of a struggle for us to like spread ourselves. We can't really spread ourselves to task ourselves with different things. That's why we never really touch affiliate. We never really explore newsletters. We just collect them, but we don't really do anything with them. So somebody who's committed to tap into those areas and even like releasing more content, or there's so many ways you can grow it with 2 of us, and then with the full schedule traveling, we just don't really have time for.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's definitely a lot of low-hanging fruit that buyers can take advantage of. And as we discussed in the previous question, one of the biggest challenges building an audience, and you've got that audience ready to be tapped into. So I think that's definitely a huge selling point.
Yeah.
Not negative. All those negative things that compared to other with running websites, sometimes with display advertising, opposed to obviously everyone have. One other thing is that every month doing quarterly RPM will drop. That can affect the income, the traffic. Some month, obviously, with the less traffic, you make more money because a high RPM, advertisers paying more.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward business. It's pretty simple. That's why we like display advertising. I recommend that to any new entrepreneur who wants to start building easy way to make money online without doing much work.
Mm-hmm.
Without doing excessively a lot of work and trying to.
Yeah, absolutely agree. It's definitely one of the easiest ways to make a passive income with your business online. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners that I might have missed?
I think we
Quite
covered
a
pretty
bit.
fully,
I
yeah.
think so, yeah. Online business, one of the best business you can have, one of the best investment. I mean, the expenses of running online business is very low. I would say it's a great investment to make. Whether it's this business or another site, it's a great investment to make.
One of the best things we've done for ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. Recently just moved from Hawaii to Florida because we can work anywhere. So I think it's a plus. I think for anyone who's looking to work from home and be independent, online is a great way to do it. Yeah,
even as a side business, in addition to full-time work, or however you want to run it.
Yeah.
It's a great way.
Yeah, there's no cap to the income you can earn. When we have more time to invest in the business, we have gone to earn double what the business is listed for. But obviously, it depends how much time that you have to invest in the business. Right now, we're investing about 20 hours a week. If the buyer can invest 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, or they have a team of people, the amount of money they can make will be astronomical.
Yeah.
I think it's a great.
You put into it more, you get back is really what it is.
Yeah, that's very true. It certainly is a great passive business model. And as you say, it gives you the flexibility to live life on your terms, which is fantastic.
Yeah, true.
Well, thank you so much, Johnny and Masato, for coming onto the show and giving us some more insight into you and your business. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us this morning.
Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate your time. Thank you for having us.
Fantastic. Thanks to you both. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 64331. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.